A humble person leads to serve and work quietly. Jesus is our master and role model to a holy and righteous life. He sets a good example to us followers and invites us to imitate his example. He works for a mission, not for recognition. He is a leader who serves, not a manager to be served. He works without pause and not waiting for any applause. As Jesus said, "Learn from me, for I am gentle and humble of heart." A blessed day to you who is watching this video right now. I pray that God may grant you His outpouring graces and blessings, and that God may give you good health. Today, I will share to you my homily for the 22nd Sunday in Ordinary Time. The theme of today's readings is about humility. Humility is the gateway of all the other virtues. When a person is humble, all the other virtues comes out easily, but humility is not making us inferior to the others. Etymologically speaking, humility comes from the Latin word humus, meaning soil or ground. So one who is humble is rooted in the ground. They are grounded to reality, a readiness to accept this reality, which is our God-given talents, abilities, as well as weaknesses and limitations. To be humble is to recognize, acknowledge, and accept reality, and to be at peace with that reality. Humility that was tackled in today's Gospel is to be aware of those who they really are in relationship with other guests. Jesus identifies what could turn a banquet of communion into a banquet of division and competition. Pride drives one to sit at the place of honor at all cost. It is pride that causes the identification and gradation of seats from the most honorable to the least one. Pride is the opposite of humility. Pride lifts somebody above from the ground. They look at themselves above the rest, and may have the tendency to think that they are equal to God or they are greater than God. Pride is the sin of Lucifer. Pride is the greatest among the 7 capital sins. To combat pride is to clothe ourselves with the virtue of humility. Jesus showed us what humility is all about. Though Jesus is in the form of God, He did not deem equality with God. Rather, He emptied Himself and took the form of a slave, being born in likeness of men. And Jesus was born in a manger, and He washed somebody's feet, which is the meanest task of a slave. Today, I would like to share to you 3 characteristics of humility that we can learn and adopt from Jesus Christ. First, a humble person doesn't need of any titles or position. In the Gospel of Mark, there is what we call messianic secret, wherein Jesus keeps His identity a secret and was only revealed during His resurrection. He performs works and healings in the name of service, not of title. A humble person maintains their dignity and doesn't dwell of who they really are. A humble person may have a title or position, but does not show up his title for any recognition. They don't need an applause or place of honor in any situation or circumstances. They are satisfied with their dignity as children of God. I remember when I was a newly ordained priest in the Philippines, I was requested to say a Mass for a high school batch reunion. The Mass was being held in a beach resort. Since I am not familiar with the place, I asked from the information desk about the venue of the Mass. She said it will be at the function hall just across the information desk. I observed that the function hall is completely bare, which means it is not ready for the Mass. There's no table, there's no chairs, and etc. The lady from the information desk told me, "Are you the altar server? Do you know how to arrange the altar table and the white linens for the Mass?" I said, "Yes, I know how to arrange those stuff." And she said, "Okay, here is the box. Fix it." And she added, "Because those who will attend the Mass and the priest will be here shortly." I said, "Okay, I can do it." So I get the box, put it in my shoulder, and I head to the function hall. I prepare the altar table and put on the chairs and make everything ready for the Mass. When the Mass is about to start, I pull out my vestment from my bag to prepare myself for the Mass. When the lady at the information desk saw me wearing a priest vestment, her eyes got bigger and feeling embarrassed. After the Mass, she approached me and repeatedly asking sorry for being disrespectful. And I said, "That's not your fault. No worries, I am not angry." So second, a humble person notices other people and recognizes them. Jesus recognizes the importance of women and children in the society. During the time of Jesus, for the Jews, women and children are second-class citizens. But Jesus notices the poorest of the poor, the sick and the leper, the crippled, lame and blind, those least people in the society. His mission is to cater his service to them. For Jesus, all are equal in God's sight. A humble person treats with care those who offer even a little service that are sometimes unrecognizable by the majority. A humble person noticed and are grateful to the waitress or waiter in the restaurant, cashier in a store, those volunteer workers for the meanest task in the church, those at the information desk, the security guards, and a lot more. And lastly, a humble person leads to serve and work quietly. Jesus is our master and role model to a holy and righteous life. He sets a good example to us followers and invites us to imitate his example. He works for a mission, not for recognition. He is a leader who serves, not a manager to be served. He works without pause and not waiting for any applause. As Jesus said, "Learn from me, for I am gentle and humble of heart." Each one of us will become Christ for others. We will use our God-given talents and gifts not for ourselves but for those who are in need. We are here not to compete, but we are here to complete one another. Completeness can be attained when we are with our fellow human being. Amen.